All right, guys, pulling into school, dropping the girls off.
Good day.
Love you, girls. Have a good morning.
Bye,
This
guys.
is their awkward beginning of the YouTube journey of us vlogging the mornings. So,
Yep.
love you guys. Have a good morning.
Bye.
You guys say something.
Bye, YouTube and people on YouTube right now. Bye.
You guys say something.
Bye.
Say peace out.
Peace out.
All right, morning, everybody. I had a unique meeting yesterday at the UTC mall. Met a guy, super unique fella. He runs the YouTube channel Daily Driven Porsche. So if you have a second, go ahead and hop over to his channel. Great dude. His name's Chris, and he just talked about the platform that we have access to on YouTube. And he was like, you're a dad of 5, a professional in the financial world. People will listen to you as you just talk about life. So I really thought about that, and not trying to piggyback on anything going on in the world today, but I've been doing a lot of thinking recently that you only have a little bit of time in life, and you either can spend every moment wisely or just let it fleet away. So I figured after I dropped the girls off in the morning, I would hop on, talk to you guys for a hot minute, kind of share some thoughts with you. I don't have a cool Porsche yet to post stuff with, but I do have a pretty cool family. I have a pretty awesome God that I have the ability to talk about. So last night, I just spent some time in the yard with the kid, just hitting the golf ball around, having a good time. And I was just thinking, the book of James tells us life is a vapor. Depending what translation you read, it might say life's a mist. And I was just really that hit super hard this past week, just with everything going on. And you only have so much time, and I think of my oldest daughter, Hallie. She's 15 years old, getting her permit pretty soon. And not too long ago, she was the same age that Will is right here. Not a care in the world. The worst thing that could ever happen in life is your ice cream falls off your cone and hits the floor. At that age, I say everything can get fixed with a Band-Aid, a popsicle, or a mommy or daddy kissing the boo-boo, right? And I just want to encourage everyone today, whether you're a dad, mom, kid, whatever situation you're falling into, take advantage of every single moment that you have. You're never going to have a guarantee of tomorrow. You're never going to have a redo of the past, but you will have the ability to do quite literally anything you want to in the present. And whether that's, going outside and knocking some golf balls in the backyard with the kids, whether that's taking time to work on someone's financial plan, taking the extra few minutes in the morning to make sure that your wife knows that you're there for her and that you love her. Take those moments. I'm getting ready to park and walk into an office, and there's so many different personalities. There's a lot of type A personalities in the industry that I work in. There's a lot of insecurity in the industry, just with, how am I going to make a living for my family? How am I going to make sure I have enough calls to make? How am I going to do all these things? And when you really sit back and just account minute by minute and how enjoyable every second can be, if you just allow yourself to just be present with today. Don't think about, well, what is my kid going to wind up doing in life? What are they going to do for college? What are they going to do for a career? How are they going to react during those teenage years? And I really believe that if we are intentional with every day that we have, And as the book of James says, realize that we're not promised tomorrow. And if we're intentional with the today, we truly have the ability to make a difference in someone's life today. I think of all these people that have millions of followers on YouTube, and I'm like, man, they can just post a video, and within an hour, they have hundreds of thousands of people seeing their influence and them having a platform to speak on. And I was humbled, because you don't have to have a big audience to make a difference. Yes, if you have a big audience, you can potentially make a bigger difference. But if I just walk into my office today, be intentional with how I talk to people, what I say to them, the tone that I say it in, the smile that I have in my face. I don't have to purposely try and say, hey, I want to help you right now. Just being present in their life and just giving the innate love that God has built into all of us. Just sharing that. Whether it's just giving someone an affirmation of, hey, you did a good job today, or holding a door open for someone, or, carrying that trash out for the janitor that no one has ever helped before. I don't know what that means for you today, but if you have the ability to go out and just make the difference for one person today on a small level, you never know what that can transform into. And so my thought and prayer as I go in today is, I want the Lord to use me. I want Him to help me be successful, yes. I want Him to help me make a living for my family. But on top of all my appointments today and my phone calls that I have to make and the plans that I have to construct, my goal is I want to be the guy in the office that people can look to when they're down, and know that I'm going to consistently be someone that they can rely on. And then when I get home and I hang up the phone for the day, I want to be home with my kids, with my family, and every single second that we're there, whether it's, playing softball, whether it's hitting the golf club, if it's sitting there watching a movie, I just want to make sure I'm present. And I think if all of us would do that today, I think we'd all have the ability to make a difference. And maybe you're not in my situation. Maybe you don't have a wife and kids yet. Maybe you don't have all these things. But wherever you're at, you have someone. Unless you lock yourself into a basement and don't get out and don't go see anybody, it's inevitable to find someone, to find a person to talk to. I was at a gas station last week, maybe it was 2 weeks ago, and the person in front of me was just a jerk to the gas station guy. And I'm pretty sure he was I can't remember now if he was Indian or Arab, but he had a thick accent, and the communication barrier was hard, and he was trying to communicate with the lady, but she was just mean the whole time. And I watched him tear up because of the pressure that she was putting on him just to get lottery tickets. And when she passed, and she checked out, I walked up to the guy, and I didn't say anything about how rude the person was. I just looked at him in the eye. I saw his name tag. I thanked him by name. And by the end of me buying, I think it was water, he had a smile on his face. And I didn't do anything to point out anybody else's flaws. I didn't say, man, that person was a jerk. I just smiled at him. I was polite and kind-hearted. And I think that I had the ability to change that guy's day. And, as I reflect on the Christianity that I grew up in, you don't always have to say, hey, I want to tell you this exact thing about the Bible. yes, there's time for that. And don't take me as I'm not trying to be evangelizing and I'm not de-emphasizing biblical truths. But so often when Jesus walked and he would help people and he would heal people, he just loved them. And I believe he would smile at them. And I believe he had compassion in his eye. And especially if you're a believer watching this and listening to this, you have that Spirit of Christ inside of you. You have the Holy Spirit. And don't take for granted what power you have to just love and make a difference for someone and have the ability to be there in their time of need and just be a constant steady for them. You know, and as you just go about your day, just as my pastor Chip says, you know, just be an intentional neighbor. And you can't go wrong loving people. Never one time have I regretted being kind. You know, never one time have I regretted taking an extra minute to let someone know that I care about them, even if I don't even know them, right? So I'm going to wrap this up. This is kind of a new thing. If this is something you guys like, you know, subscribe, hit the bell button, yada, yada, yada. But really, I'm just going to kind of show you guys my journey. I have very humble beginnings. You know, as we have some more videos, maybe I'll share that with you guys. But I hope it was helpful. And I want to leave you just with the concept from James 4 that our life is a vapor. We're not guaranteed tomorrow. And we really have the ability to make the most of today. And whatever you're doing, wherever you're going, wherever life leads you, just take that minute to care about someone, love on them, and just be present. So, hope you guys have a great day. If you haven't seen it yet, I'm trying to break a world record for bouncing a golf ball in a club. I hit 384 last night. That was the first attempt. And then also this week, we are going to have some golf content. My nephew Landon is coming into town, and we're actually going to be golfing over at TPC Prestantia here in Sarasota. Tomorrow, we're going to be hitting the stadium course, which is where they hold the PGA Tour event when the PGA is down here. And then on Wednesday, we're going to be hitting the Players course, which is a little bit tougher. So I think tomorrow we're going to be doing our own scores. And then I think we might do a scramble and maybe try and do a break 60, which I don't think is very realistic at all. But hey, we're going to try it. So hope you guys have a good day. If you need anything, leave a comment below, and we'll talk to you soon.